Good morning children, welcome to your GK class. So this video is for class 8 students, and today in your GK class we'll be doing page number 32, conservation of nature. So let's begin children. Conservation of nature. Number 1. Which of these is not a direct consequence of deforestation? So the question means here that which is not the direct result of deforestation. Number 1, increase in the earth's temperature. So this is a result of deforestation, so we'll not tick on this. Number B, increase in the level of carbon dioxide. So as you know, if you cut down the trees, so level of oxygen decreases and there is an increase in the level of carbon dioxide. So this is also a direct result of deforestation. Number C, decrease in the level of groundwater. This is also very much true, because when you have less number of trees, the roots do not there are less number of roots, and when there are less number of roots, the ground level of groundwater also decreases. Number D, unemployment of people. This is not the direct consequence of deforestation, because people are not employed for deforestation. Okay, so that is why the last one will be the correct answer. So you can take on number D. Number 2, which of these species is endemic to India? Endemic means here native. So which of the species is native to India? So that is mountain gorilla. You can see the picture of mountain gorilla out here. So this is native to India, whereas the other species which are mentioned here, they are not native to India, like the lion-tailed macaw, number C giant panda, and number D pine barrens tree frog. Okay, next we are going to number 3. Which of these animals has become extinct in India? So which is the animal which has become extinct in India? It's Ganges shark. You can see this is Ganges shark, and which has become extinct in India. Okay, whereas the other animals which are mentioned here can be seen in India: Sumatran rhinoceros, number B white-bellied heron, and number C gharial. Okay, next with this we move on to number 4. Which is the only Indian state that is home to golden langur? So this is Assam, and the picture of golden langur is this, you can see in the video. So this is golden langur, and the only Indian state that is their home is Assam. Okay, that is in northeast. Next we move on to question number 5. In which year did the United Nations develop the World Charter for Nature? So World Charter for Nature had some principles in it. Okay, and United Nations developed this charter for the conservation of nature, and it was done so in the year 1892. So the general principles which were mentioned in the charter were as follows. You can see out here. The general principles enunciate that nature shall be respected and its essential processes shall not be impaired or degraded. Further, genetic viability, population level of all forms and their habitat, all areas of earth, both land and sea ecosystems should be protected and conserved. So this was all about the conservation of nature and other habitats, the areas of earth, both land and sea. The whole ecosystem had to be protected and conserved. So this was the general principle. There were many principles, many more principles, but this is the summary of the principle which I have said you discussed with you today in this video. Next we are moving on to question number 6. Which astronaut took the photograph named Earthrise? Okay, so here first I'll show you the picture of Earthrise. Okay, this was taken in December 24, 1968 from the crew of Apollo 8. So this was taken from the spaceship of Apollo 8. Isn't it beautiful? It looks beautiful, isn't it? As if the earth is floating. It's not really an earth rise, of course, as seen from any one spot on the moon's near side. Earth doesn't rise or set, but simply hangs in one spot in the lunar sky. The astronauts saw Earth rise because they were moving in a spacecraft above the moon's surface. So it is not about Earth rise or fall, it's not like that. So it was just seen in a spot, but as the astronauts saw the earth rise because they were moving, because they were in the spacecraft of Apollo 8. And so when the spacecraft was moving above the moon's surface, so they saw it, the position of the earth seemed to be earth risen. Okay, so it was on Christmas Eve in 1968. So the date is mentioned December 24. So you can understand it was Christmas Eve. William Anders aboard, I mean, when he was in the spaceship, the Apollo 8 spacecraft turned his camera toward Earth and took this photo that is now legendary. So this photograph has become very, very unique, and it was taken by William Anders. It was a photo that showed humans a new perspective, with the moon in the foreground and Earth floating in distant space. So it was taken in such a unique way from the moon that it looked as if the Earth is floating in the space. The iconic image helped spur the environmental movement. So this iconic movement that gave a very new turn to the environmental movement. So this photograph was taken by William Anders. Here I'll show you the picture of William Anders. So he is William Anders, who had done this unique job of taking the photograph, this unique photograph of Earth Risen. Okay, Earth Rise, you can say. So this is it, number 6. Now we move on to question number 7, children. In which year did the Wildlife Protection Act of India come into effect? So it was 1972 when the Wildlife Protection Act of India came into effect, and according to this Protection Act, it was a piece of legislation that regulates sanctuaries, national parks and zoos, among other protected locations. Its primary aim is to curb the illegal trade in wildlife and the derivative parts. So the main function of this act coming into action was the stop of the illegal trade in wildlife and the derivative parts. Means you know of the parts of animals being selling off for commercial purposes. So to look after that and to stop all this kind of illegal trade, this Protection Act was established. Okay, children, and the year was 1972. Next we are moving on to the last one, children. Number 8, which of these birds is endemic to Andaman Islands? Means they are native to Andaman Islands. So the native bird which is familiar to Andaman Islands is brown cockle. So you can see this is brown cockle. Okay, so this is the picture of brown cockle. So with this we are coming to the end of this exercise of page number 32, conservation of nature. Hope so you learned about conservation and the facts related to the conservation of nature. So you should also learn how to conserve nature and preserve our nature, and all all whatever is related to it. Okay, so please do it, children. Thank you very much. This is the end of your lesson for today. Thank you very much, children.